माधवा कुंज विहारी projector there is coming. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Radha Kunja Vihari Radhe Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radhe Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुः उन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, welcome all of you. You can see, no? Not coming? No, it's coming. Yeah. Yeah. So all of you devotees, you have got promotion. There's 3 levels till now in your. So see the third one. You see what is the third one? Avidya's mundane knowledge with 4 defects. This is what we get in schools and colleges. Like you study about the earth and solid mechanics, theory of machines and all that. Study about liquids and fluid mechanics, fluid machinery, hydraulics and all that. You study about air and gases and turbo machinery, thermodynamics and all that. Then you study about the fire in fire engineering, heat and mass transfer and all that. And you study about the caustic physics. You study about the ether and space. Then you study about mind, intelligence, and ego. Then you study about them in psychology and psychiatry. Correct, no? So you will see these are all called as mundane knowledge, which man has done some inventions and discoveries by his research with his own defective senses. Correct, no? Now, what is the problem with this third one? Because the third one is done by our Arohan Pant, we call it. Inductive knowledge. Inductive knowledge is pain producing. Deductive knowledge is bliss producing. So, if you try to figure out yourself what this material world is by your own effort, then it can be pain producing. See this one. See, the Dravya Shakti has manifested in this world as a conglomeration of 24 elements all over the universe. You can see that. Like you all know the 24 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, then mind, intelligence, ego. And what are the 5 jnanendriyas? Eyes, nose, tongue, ears, and skin. What are the 5 karmendriyas? Hands, legs, genitals, rectum, and speech. Then what are the 5 sense objects? For each of the Shabda Sparsha Rasa Rupa Gandha. Correct. For the eyes, you have forms. For the ears, you have sounds. And for the nose, you have smells. And for the tongue, you have tastes. And for the skin, you have, objects for touch. Like that. So how much it comes totally? 23. And the last one, 24th one is Pradhan. Pradhan is just like when you're a teacher in your school, you must have seen, she must have brought a big quantity of China clay. And then she takes one gola and gives it to every student. Now you all make some some objects, like somebody makes a lion, somebody makes a tiger, somebody makes a deer, somebody makes a tree. We all used to make different things, correct? Huh? It's what do you call it? China clay only. No? You make it looks like rubber kind of thing. You make that, and then the time is up, bell rings. Teacher says, "Now, children, all of you give it back." And she puts it up back again in a big, and then she keeps it in a box. Correct? No? So that's called pradhan. Pradhan means it's a conglomeration of elements. And then all the 8.4 million species are given one body with that. Finally, when the pralaya comes, mix everything together, put everything. Like that. Correct. So pradhan is a total material elements. That's around 24th item. Why it is separately categorized? Because it is in a subtlest form where you cannot see rajoguna, tamaguna, sattoguna and all. You cannot see. There are no differentiation of the gunas. It's an extremely subtle matter. And then from that comes Prakriti and then Mahatattva and all which will come later on. Then all these divisions had all happened. So that is actually called Dravya Shakti. And Kriya Shakti means the ability in the jiva to produce action. Like how do you act? With your action senses. With your legs, you walk. With your hand, you can do many things. You can grasp an object. Somebody comes to attack you, you can slap them. Or you can punch on their nose. Or you can count. You can play mridanga. You can play piano. Correct, no? You can play violin. Or you can play guitar. So many things you can do with your fingers. Or you can bowl. Bowling you can do. You can play table tennis. So hand has many capacities. Or if some objects, some bureau is falling on you, you can stop it. So these are action senses. Your legs, your hands. Similarly, genitals can do reproduction purpose, for reproduction purpose, begetting children. Similarly, the rectum, it pushes the stool to be thrown out. That means evacuating the wastage from the body. That is like a machine for that. It throws out, it acts. Speech also is an action sense, because by speech, you can, like I say, please bring a mridangam player. I say, immediately a mridangam player comes. Correct, no? Isn't it? You speak, and then through the speech, you get the work done, isn't it? Or you make a phone call to some, what do you call it, big basket shop or something. Please bring so much grocery and deliver it here. So through your speech, you are getting things done. Correct, no? So in this way, you have, these are all action senses. The Kriya Shakti is there with the Jiva. Correct, no? Because with the action senses, you produce action. Now, Jnana Shakti means you use your mind and intelligence. So this can be used for either degrading or for elevating. You have the opportunity. Now, with the Jnana Shakti, you can take the Dravya Shakti and Kriya Shakti, you can mix. For example, take the conglomeration of 24 metal elements. And then using your Kriya Shakti, build a big skyscraper building or a big flyover. Or you can make a very big metro, ways for the vehicles to go. Or you can make big cars, big cranes. Nowadays they are making big constructions, you see, correct? No? That means they are taking their Dravya Shakti and using their Jnana Shakti for doing Kriya. Correct? No? That means taking the Dravya Shakti and expanding huge constructions and enterprises in cities, making multiple flyover going this way, that way, this way, everywhere. Underground also nowadays. Proposed like rats. Go underground also. Up also, here also, everywhere. So this is actually called as Tamaguna. That means we are expanding the Tamaguna by increasing too many. Like for example, countryside is in which guna? Countryside. Countryside means forest. Sattaguna. So a serene place, calm place. Even out of Pune, when I once went to Saswad, they took me to one Shiva temple. There is a lake. Serene lake, birds are chirping, trees all around. Some When you ring a bell, it can be heard in the entire area. There are many, many stone structures. You go and sit peacefully. It's calming to the mind. Then you come to the city, Shivajinagar, somewhere. All the sounds, machines are, big constructions are happening, and a lot of dust, air pollution, noise pollution, water pollution, mind pollution, everything pollution is created by man. So this is an example of taking the Kriya Shakti and using our Rajo Shakti, but using our mind for expanding ignorance. Correct now? And that's what happens in avidya, the third one. When we have only mundane knowledge with 4 defects, we take the resources of this world for expanding ignorance of oneself and others. And we create a very, very messy world in this world. Like that. On the other hand, if you focus on the Jnana Shakti for understanding why this world was created originally, who am I? So what is matter? What is spirit? What is God? God must have had some purpose why he has put us here. Then the subject matter is in Vedanta Sutra is very beautifully explained that this body with your 5 jnanendriyas and 5 karmendriyas, with all these things and all these 24 elements put together, this is actually called as a kshetra. Every one of you have got your kshetra, I have my kshetra. And who are you? You are kshetrajna. Jna means knower. You are the knower of your kshetra, correct now? Like, so imagine one of you is hungry now, who will know it? That person only will know it, correct? Or one did not get adequate sleep yesterday night, is feeling drowsy now. So who will know it? His neighbor will know it. His neighbor will say that he is dozing, correct? Of course, neighbor, how he knows it? Because he is observing that he is dozing, correct now? But there are many things which happen inside you, which only you will know. Nobody can observe it. Like what's going on in your mind, who knows it? Only you know it, correct? But there is one person who knows about everybody's mind. Who is that? That's Paramatma. He is also called another Kshetrajna. So in Vedanta Sutra it is explained, the soul, the field, and the master of the soul. So in this body there is a resident of the body, and there is also the president of the body. Who is the president? Paramatma. Who is the resident? Soul. And both are seated in this bodily kshetra. And we are all using this kshetra for our own purposes. Like, if, for example, you can sow a neem seed. If you sow neem seed, you will get neem fruits. If you sow mango seed, you will get mango fruits. So, sukh dukh is cultivated by you in your own kshetra. For example, you drink milk and you can increase your sattva and you can be happy. You drink liquor, you'll go crazy. Correct, no? So, in the same manner, you have the choice. How you want to use this kshetra. Like one of you boys, you all became devotees now. You may be worshipping the Lord with agarbatti. Another fellow standing in the college, they're smoking cigarette. Both are releasing smoke. Isn't it? One has a divine smoke, another one has a dirty smoke. It depends on how they are using their kshetra given to them. So this is explained in the 13th chapter of the Gita very quickly. So when you use the Jnana Shakti to understand how not to get entangled, but how to get liberated. And that Jnana Shakti is in Sattva Guna. You know how to liberate spirit from matter. Then you are the smartest boy. You understood how to liberate a bird from a cage and then make the bird fly in the free sky. Then you are smart. But when you use the Dravya Shakti, pick up the Dravya Shakti and then using your Kriya Shakti, you use your Jnana for a lower purpose. That means Jnana can be used for a higher purpose, Jnana can be used for a lower purpose. The lower purpose is take the material elements and do this nasty thing of expanding the tamaguna for yourself and others in this world. That is called avidya. Whereas paravidya means take the same ingredients in the world and instead of exploiting the resources of material nature for your enjoyment, you use it all in Lord's service. Just like go to Mayapur, we have the TOVP temple coming up. Correct, no? Temple of Vedic Planetarium. There also they are using material elements. But for what purpose? Building a temple of the Lord, so millions of people can come there and then purify their hearts. Then it is sattva. Similarly, somebody can take the material elements and make a laptop like this, and then supply the laptop to all the living entities. And the living entities are watching video games, or they're playing, they are watching some, pornography and things like that. And they're polluting their minds and degrading further. No? So that is actually tamaguna. It becomes avidya. But the same metal elements, when you make a laptop and then show something like this, show something about the Lord's pastimes, activities, then it is elevating. That means the jnana can be used for a lower purpose, jnana can be used for a higher purpose. When the jnana is used for exploiting material resources, then it is called avidya. When the same jnana is used for elevating the soul back home, back to God, it is paravidya. Correct? No? Like, somebody cuts a tree, and then with the tree, they make papers. With the paper, they are making some cinema magazines. And they're distributing as time pass, time pass. The train, you see that. And in the train, many people are sitting, they're lying down in the berth. They ask for the magazine and they're opening and looking at the dirty pictures, nude pictures of men, women, doing all dirty things. And their minds are getting further polluted. And they engage in gang rape like in Calcutta now. Correct, no? So, in this way, these people are using material resources for polluting the minds of people and degrading people and increasing the headache and troubles of the people. Correct? Like look at Hamas, Palestine, Israel war, if you see that. Many of the refugees want to come out and go into neighborhood countries, nobody's allowing them. Correct? No? Everywhere they are throwing them out. There's a big, Denmark has declared a war now. Today, I think, yesterday or today morning. So there is no one country declares war, then other countries, the whole world, they are saying next year there's likely to be a big war. They're saying, isn't it? So the point is, why these wars and everything come? Because the living beings are exploiting the material resources for their own enjoyment, without using these resources for serving the Lord and liberating the spirit from matter. So any intelligent person should find out ways how I can liberate my soul from this material field in which I have got trapped now, like a bird in a cage. Then your intelligence is rightly utilized. So that is actually called paravidya, transcendental knowledge. And avidya means mundane knowledge, or avidya is also called jadavidya, because it is talking only about matter. Whereas paravidya talks about matter, spirit, and controller of both. Matter and spirit. There is paravidya. Paravidya people know three things. Avidya people know only one thing. Avidya people know which one? Matter, that's all. Go to school, college, get only material knowledge. Nothing else. Whereas go to the Vedic school, then there you learn paravidya. Matter, spirit, and controller of both. Like a car. For example, you have a car, and you are the driver of the car, and your father is a controller of both you and the car. Correct? Because if you misuse the car, father will still leave the car at home. Don't take it. Correct? No? So there is always father and son. Like I went to Ahmedabad, one father and son met me. I asked the boy, "What's your name?" He said, "I am Patel." He said, "Ask the father, what is your name?" "I am also Patel." He said, because they have Patel name very common there. Correct? No? But that is a big Patel and small Patel. So we are also like, no, there's Paramatma and Jivatma. Parabrahman and Brahman. Correct? No? Soul and super soul. So both are spirit, but there is a small spirit and there's supreme spirit. So if you don't know the difference, what is supreme spirit, what is small spirit, and then what is matter, then people just exploit the matter. Just like look at the child now. If when you see a child and the mother is in the kitchen busy, the child passes stool and urine and rolls on that, and the nasty smell is coming. Quack, 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 it's making noise. The mother comes and sees, child says, I don't know how to get out of this mess. Because I have created this mess myself only. By passing stool, urine, rolling on it. If you want to pass stool, go to the bathroom properly and release it and then bathe properly, nicely dressed. But can the child do it himself? He requires guidance. Similarly, people have taken the material elements and then mixed up together and created a messy city. And then they are shouting like, "Kuwa, kuwa," they are all shouting war now. Fighting, shooting, beating one another, shooting with one another, and creating an even more messy world. So if you want to change the messy world into a meaningful world, you need paravidya. We need transcendental knowledge. You can see First time when ISKCON are organized one Rath Yatra in San Francisco, they took one permission from the government saying that we will have only 3 hand carts we are going to take on the road. They thought hand cart will be like our bullock cart, they thought. Later on, when the police department people came and saw the 3 hand carts were huge, 3 rathas, so they got frightened. They said, hey, these are the 3 hand carts. You said you're going to pull it by hand. They said, yes, about 500 people will be pulling it. Oh, they were shocked. Then the police department immediately organized the meeting and said, we need to have 50 to 100 policemen to escort this crowd. It should not turn into a mob. Otherwise, they'll create some trouble for public. So the police came. But then from the beginning of Rath Yatra to the end, the police only saw these people singing beautifully and dancing, distributing prasad, distributing spiritual literature. It went on so peacefully beginning to end. The police people went back to their boss and said, we had no work at all. We also walked with the Rath Yatra. We have never seen such a controlled group of people, who are well behaved and gentle and, that a big group of people, they said. So after that, Rath Yatra permission was easily available everywhere, all across the globe. They saw that these are very trained people because ISKCON devotees are trained in knowledge, the Vedic knowledge, what is matter, what is spirit, who is the controller of both. With proper knowledge, you can behave properly. Otherwise, you don't know what to eat. You put anything in the mouth, you put liquor in the mouth, you will not behave properly. Liquor should be avoided. Milk should be drank. Non-vegetarian should be avoided. Vegetarian food offered to God with love should be accepted. So everything, what to eat, how to dress, how to speak, how to deal with women, with children, with nature, with animals, everything is taught in the Paravidya. And ultimate goal of Paravidya is to liberate the soul from matter and send the soul back to Godhead by awakening pure love. Correct, no? And there is in between one called Aparavidya. What is that one? It is mundane knowledge from the Vedas. For example, Vedas teach you many things like metallurgy, for example. They also teach about Ayurveda, how to keep your body healthy. There are more than 3,000 medicines mentioned in Charak Samhita. So it also gives a lot of mundane knowledge. It talks about architecture. It talks about, organizing a society, and how to rule the people. Many, many things like that. That's Aparavidya means what? Aparavidya is also mundane knowledge. Avidya is also mundane knowledge, but there is a difference between the two. What is the difference? That means mundane knowledge from Vedas and mundane knowledge given by, the research of some fellows with a 200 gram of grey matter. Out of the two, which is better? Which one is better? Aparavidya is better than avidya. Why? Because Ayurveda, I can personally tell from my experience. When Ayurveda, there are many home medicines, correct? No? In Ayurveda, you just learn one small medicines. And that is why our Patanjali became so famous. Sadhguru also, Patanjali, all these people, because they say many home medicines, correct? No? It's very simple, with turmeric, with ginger, with the miri, with jeera, with elaichi. Similarly, hand wash and everything with lemon and orange. People nowadays go for it. Earlier, we were using chemicals for washing hands and hands would burn under. Skin will get some rashes and everything. Now, nobody will buy any chemical now. Everybody goes for natural lotions and such everything. And that industry became 10,000 crore companies very quickly within a few years. Why? Because people saw that whatever comes from Vedas, it is so pure and sublime. Even mundane knowledge also is very wonderful. Like Vedas teach, you do pranayama, you do yogasanas, keep your body healthy inside and outside, how to eat, how to sleep, how to keep your body fit. Now, all the knowledge comes from Vedas, and so many hundreds and thousands of YouTube channels are open nowadays. Yeah, you must have seen one team Sattvic movement. Sattvic movement. So there are many, many channels like that nowadays who are teaching. But where are their teachings coming from? Many of the things they take from this kind of Paravidya coming from the Vedic information. Simple shlokas. Correct, no? So why am I telling you about this? Because those of you who have come in from the school to college studying only the avidya, suddenly it may be difficult for one to develop faith in Paravidya. But the Aparavidya acts as a stepping stone for you. to develop a firm faith in Paravidya. Because Paravidya is transcendental knowledge. Whereas the Aparavidya is something which you can see with your own eyes. You can see pranayama is benefiting people. Organic food is benefiting people. Yogasanas are benefiting. There are specific yogasanas nowadays taught by Ramdev Baba and other people on which disease to address by which yogasanas. Correct, no? There are incurable diseases which are easily cured by certain practices like that. Now, not only India, even in Gulf, they are inviting these gurus to come and teach yogasanas. Even Muslims say that, yogasana is good for us, so they are also ready to accept. They don't see it's coming from Hinduism or thisism or thatism. People are ready to accept. It has become very, very internationally acceptable. Correct, no? So in this way, when there are hundreds of things we can talk about in Aparavidya also, which is from the Vedic literature. Like you can see in a Vedic woman versus modern woman. And similarly, the Vedic education versus modern education. The Vedic prosperity versus modern day scarcity. So I had once made a list of 25 items like this. Like how people lived then and then how they are living now. So when you make a comparison, it will help you very much to deeply appreciate the authenticity and the depth and the maturity of the Vedas. And then you can go to Paravidya, you will easily appreciate the spiritual knowledge from the Vedas, which is helpful both now and beyond your death also, when you want to attain perfection in your life. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells one famous verse, which I will show you. So here Lord Bhagavan is telling here, Krishna. All of you repeat this. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Tute Guhyatamam Pravakshyamyana Suyave Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam Yajñatpa Mokshase Ashubhat. Now if you read the translation, who has the mic with you?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna,
Yeah. Yeah, read it.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, because you are so curious of me, I shall report to you this most confidential knowledge, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of the day.
Yeah. Now, confidential knowledge is explained in the second and third chapter, that you are not the body, you are spirit soul. Because this knowledge is not known to the common people in this world. Most people are studying about 8 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego, Jada Vidya, or Avidya, they are studying. But Paravidya is confidential knowledge, which means you are not the body, you are spirit soul. And then you go further in the 6th, 8th chapter and all, you hear about Paramatma also. And also in 7th chapter, you hear about, Lord's energies also. That is Antarang Shakti, Bahirang Shakti and all that. So more confidential knowledge is given. And the 9th chapter, and this chapter is going to talk about most confidential knowledge, loving relationship of Jiva with God. That is the knowledge. That's called as most confidential. Why it is most confidential? For example, say you are connecting with another boy who is also passing out of your college. And then you both decide to become partners in business. Your initial relationship will be a very formal one. Okay, you have money, I have money. Let us become entrepreneurs, invest money together and start some small scale industry, and then we can supply to MIDC, some big company. You put up a small company. So initially your relationship is very formal. It's basically money making, business making. But in the course of your interaction, you get to know him more, he gets to know more. Then he may invite you to his house and you may go to his house. Correct, no? You may talk and he may talk to you, and then you become friends. Sometimes in the course of becoming friends, you realize he's a very good person. Such a nice person, he has such good qualities and everything. Tomorrow, sometimes you consider a person, oh, this person may be good to become husband of my sister, because such a good soul. Then you find out what is the caste and everything. Parents are also saying, finally, match happens. Then he becomes very intimate relative, correct, no? It has happened or not? It can happen or not possible? It can happen, right, no? Then he's no more a business partner for you. More than a business partner, he has become a relative now, correct, no? So out of this, which is most confidential? Which is most relative? Like, Krishna gave his sister in marriage to Arjuna, correct, no? Who is that? Subhadra, correct, no? So he became very intimately related physically also. And eternally, Krishna and Arjuna are intimate, most intimate friends. Naranara and Rishi, they are coming. Here they are coming as Krishna Arjuna, like this. And they perform many, many pastimes like that. So with somebody who is heart-to-heart friend of Krishna, only to him, he says, I can reveal the truth about me. I was giving a lecture in Calcutta. There were about 200 people. It was a big satsang program they arranged, 250 people. So after I finished my lecture, one young boy was sitting in the front. So he asked a question, Sir, why is Krishna so proud? He asked. I said, why do you say he is proud? He said, then what? In Bhagavad Gita, he says, I am God to Arjuna. There is no one superior to me. I am the ultimate God. How can he say that? Then I asked this boy, see, Arjuna asked him, who is God? And Krishna had to tell the truth that I am only God. Somebody asks a question. For example, what's your good name? Rishikesh. Now, if I come to this hall and say, who is Rishikesh? So what he will do? He will raise hand and say, Prabhuji, I am Rishikesh. Hey, why are you so proud? I can't ask. He's just telling the truth. Correct, no? Similarly, Arjuna asked Krishna, can you please tell me who is God? Krishna said, I am only God, my dear friend. He said like that. And then Arjuna wanted to know more about him. And Krishna said, these are my material energies. These are my spiritual energies. And how I supply food to all the jivas. All the truths he told them. Then I told this boy, you say Krishna is very proud. Let me ask you a question. I told this boy. Say, tomorrow you become owner of Infosys company, for example, or CEO of Infosys company. So you are leaving the company in the evening and you're going in your car back home. Will you drive the car and ask one of your GETs to sit behind and drive him? No. Will you do that? I asked him. He thought for a moment and said, no, I cannot do that. He said, how can I do that? I am a CEO and he's only a graduate engineering training. He's a young boy. In fact, if I am a CEO, I won't be driving my car even myself also. I will have an employee. So we'll do that. I will sit behind a cool manner. Why should I drive a young boy? It would be humiliation, he said. I said, but Krishna is doing it. Krishna is putting his devotee in the chariot and he is driving the chariot. What do you say about that? Then he was completely defeated. He said, sir, that is really a sign of humility, he said. And everybody clapped hands. Because that boy admitted, humbly admitted that Lord is humble. Correct, na? He said, this is, ये तो हम कर नहीं पाएंगे. This is very difficult to do, which Lord Krishna did. Then I said, you think God is proud? God is not proud. We are only proud. Actually, why we consider somebody as proud? One day, in one of the bus stops, one man was standing with a safari cloth he was wearing. Somebody asked him, sir, where are you working? He said, I am in SBI. He said, and I am a manager in SBI. I am a SBI State Bank of India manager. He said. So a week later, the same person who asked him question, he went to SBI and he saw this fellow is only a peon there. There he's wearing simple dress. Now it seems he was going for some occasion, he was wearing safari dress. So then that is cheating, correct, no? Because he's a peon, but he's saying, I am manager. Then that's wrong, correct, no? Whereas if somebody is God, and Arjuna asking, who are you? Not only Krishna said, I am God, he showed Vishwrupadarshan darshan also. Then he opened his mouth to Yashoda and showed the universe within his belly. That means he's not only saying I am God, he's also proving that I am God. So that's why Krishna is telling to Arjuna, if I tell truths about me, the living entities become envious. Because they think, why only Krishna should be God? Why not me? So therefore, I don't tell the truth to them. I'm only telling the truth to someone like you who is a pure devotee. He's saying that because you are never envious of me, I can impart this most confidential knowledge about me and my activities to you. So like that he's telling. And then there's one more verse. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. See, this knowledge that I'm going to give you, Arjun, is Raja Vidya or Paravidya. Transcendental knowledge. It's a king of all knowledge. Because there is no knowledge greater than this. Because the knowledge about soul and Lord, Supreme Lord, and the loving relationship. This is the highest knowledge. Once you get awakened to this knowledge, then this is your last lifetime in this world. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjana. Krishna says, you know Krishna's divinity, his birth, his activities, and you know your loving relation with him in one of the 5 rasas. Then you don't take birth in this world. You can go back to Godhead. That's why it's a king of all knowledge. That means the king of knowledge is one which liberates you from all sufferings. King of knowledge is not only which gives you a big job in California or Bay Area. People think that, oh, I did computer science and then I went to America and I got a big job. Yes, that job is giving you a good position in society. You make money, you can enjoy for a while. But after that, what? How long can that go on? It can go on for 70, 80, 100 years. After that, you will see this material world, everybody's body is changing and dying. Prabhupada told the Americans, you American boys and girls, you have handsome bodies now, you have a lot of money in your pocket now, don't think this situation will remain forever. It's only a matter of few years. After that, this will be gone. Somebody who has a handsome and beautiful body now can become a dog loitering in the street in some other country after doing sinful activities. So, therefore, that knowledge which permanently liberates you and puts you in an eternal position. The Upanishads call us as Amritaputra. Oh, children of immortality, become immortal. Don't be loitering in this world, taking birth again and again. And it is a Raja Guhyam. It's a very confidential knowledge because sometimes you see that even an illiterate person may have great Shraddha in the Lord and faith in the Lord. He can become a great devotee. Sometimes a big scholar also doesn't understand. One time, 2 PhD students came to one of these ISKCON temples. One of them is a devotee, other one was not. So after they entered the temple hall, the devotee was offering obeisances. Other fellow was standing like this and not offering obeisance. So his friend told him, hey, this is the way we bow down. I am thinking whether to bow or not. The other fellow was telling. So now why he won't immediately bow? Because there is always ego. There is an ego that stops a person, thinks oneself to be very great. But at the time of death, everyone has to bow down. Can anyone be standing and dying? You have to put a flag on the ground. So why to wait till death? Before death only you do. Krishna says, Mom, Namaskuru. You do Namaskuru now and get liberated. Not that you stand like this and you fall. You're forced to fall later. So, if one is intelligent, when your life is in the body, one can cultivate this knowledge. It's a pavitram, pure knowledge. Uttamam, beyond darkness. Uttamam, tamam means darkness. Ut means beyond. It takes you beyond darkness of this world. Pratyakshaavagamam means you get practically relishable path. It is. What is that practical relish? You can relish prasad, can relish kirtan, dancing, arti for the Lord, and hear the pastimes of Krishna and his devotees like Sudama, loving relationship. All this is relishable to the ears and the heart because it's very natural for the soul to love the Lord. So when that love becomes blossomed, then one can practically relish it. Susukam means joyfully performed. Avyayam, imperishable path, he's saying. So, in this chapter, very beautifully all this is explained in the 9th chapter by Lord Krishna. You see, Krishna talks about 2 categories of jivas. Please recite this verse. Mahatmanastu mam partha Devim prakritim ashritaha Bhajantananya manaso Jnatva bhutadim abhyayam. So Krishna is talking about Mahatma devotees. Like right side you see, there is Nanda Baba and Yashoda welcoming Krishna back in the evening. These are all great souls who have taken shelter of Krishna. Daivim prakritim ashritaha. They are in internal potency, having taken shelter of the Supreme Lord. So the spiritual world is filled with the sublime nature of Lord's pure devotees, affectionate to the Lord and respectful to other living entities. Day in and day out, at every moment, there are spiritual activities going on. Taking shelter of internal potency means doing spiritual activities in relation to Lord Krishna. That is actually called taking shelter of internal potency. Like, for example, you rise early in the morning, take a bath and wear tilak and wear dhoti kurta, come in front of the Lord and chant and dance, hear the classes, take prasad, play mridangam, play kartas, sing kirtans. All spiritual activities are internal potency activities. Then there's another verse. Mogha shamogha karmano mogha jnana vichetasaha rakshasi masurim chaiva prakritim mohinim shritaha. This verse explains about enjoyment by exploiting the Lord's resources, I told you. Correct, no? Mohinim shritaha. They take shelter of Maya. So the first was Mahatma. They take shelter of Krishna's internal potency, which is Srimati Radharani. Whereas these people take shelter of Maya Devi, which is Durga. In the deluded and bewildered and demoniac condition, and they have no hopes for liberation, and they are degraded people. So, so there are atheistic people in this category, and the atheistic people are ungrateful fools who just take the resources of this world, so made by the Lord, and enjoy without reference to who is the owner. Correct, no? Imagine, for example, every one of us sitting here, what you will do if you want your friend's bike. Will you go and take it? What is the first thing you will do? I'll ask him. Two things you need to know. Can I take the bike? If he says yes, okay, how long can I take the bike? Correct, no? If he says for 2 hours, then use the bike and come and give the key back, then you are a gentleman. Correct, no? If you take the bike and say, I will come in 2 hours and you don't come back all day, come in the night and say sorry, then you are not so gentleman. But you take the bike and escape without even telling him, then you are a thief. Then you are a thief. Correct, no? So atheistic fellows are thieves, because they are taking everything and enjoying without telling the Lord. Correct, no? Then there are 4 types of worshippers of the Lord. Here you can see. Jnana yajnena chapyanye ajanto mam upasate ekatvena pratatvena bahudha vishvato mukham. Yeah. Here you see he's saying there is there are other people engage in sacrifice by cultivation of knowledge. And they worship Supreme Lord as one without a second, as diverse in many, and in the universal form. That means some of them worship, they think God and I are one, they think. You know the such people in India? Impersonal people, they are ekatvena. And then pratatvena bahuda means people who think that one God has manifested as many demigods, many devatas. They think, you can choose your devata, they say. You can choose Shiva or Vishnu or Rama or Ganesha or Kartikeya. They think like that. But they do not know. And these people have a notion that there is one impersonal truth which is manifesting as many, they think like that. What is the difference between Ekatvena and the second one? The Ekatvena people never worship any personal form. They only meditate on impersonal Om. They are Akshara Brahma, they meditate. Whereas the Pratatvena Bahuda, they do Panchopasana. Panchopasana begins with, Shauryas. Shauryas means first they worship sun, because sun is the source of all Shakti. We get the heat and light from the sun. Then they worship Ganapati. They are called as, then they worship Shakti. They are called Shaktas. They see that, yes, sun gives the heat and light for us, but there is a Shakti which has a feminine form like Durga, who has multiple potencies with her. In this material energy, she is a personified material energy. They worship her. Then they worship Ganesh, Ganapatyas. Ganapatya means why they worship Ganesh. You have heard the word Gana. Gana means Lord Shiva is accompanied by Ganas, correct, no? Many. So they think that all the jivas in this world which have the living potency, without them, this material world will not be moving. It will be a dead place. So the sum total of all the living entities, that's what they consider as Ganesh. And then they consider as Ganapatyas. Then they become a little more elevated and say that living in this world and doing activity is not fun. It's more misery producing. So we need peace. How do you get peace? Go to Shiva by meditating on, Om, and then attaining Shivatva, auspiciousness. How do you attain? So therefore they worship the form of Shiva after that. They become Shaivas. Then they understand Shiva gives peace. That is all right. The goal of life is not peace. The goal of life is love. Then they go to Vishnu. Because Vishnu Bhaktas, that's where the bhakti begins. Understanding Vishnu. Then they become Vaishnavas. But that Vaishnava is different from what we call as Vaishnavas, because they think these 5 deity forms, beginning with this Surya, then Shakti, then Ganesh and Shiva and Vishnu. These people are not true bhaktas. Why? They worship these murtis. After some time, they will put it in the water. They'll throw it in the water. What do you call it? Visarja. You have seen Ganesh Chaturthi? They worship for 1 week and they throw it. So in my home, my father was worshipping Ganesh. We also worshipped. After 1 week, he was carrying. I said, "Where are you carrying?" "We're going to put in the well." He said. I started crying. "How can you put the Lord in the well?" He said, No, this is a Riti Rivaj we have to follow. And everybody puts it, we have to put it also. I said, Ganesh is so beautiful. You are feeding him modakam and everything. Suddenly we say, you go down now. The water. So I was very shocked. Why are they doing this? Later on, I came to know they do the same after Vijayadashami for Devi also. So these people are not true bhaktas. A true bhakta will never give up the worship of the master. Like we are worshipping Radha Krishna. Have you ever seen them putting in water? We worship all our life, and after we die, we go to Goloka and continue the worship there also. Correct, no? That is true bhakti. So this is Prataktena Bahuda means these people worship different forms of the devatas, but they use these devatas as a temporary stepping stone to merge in Brahman. That is their goal. Just like I use a spoon to mix the juice or something. Once it is done, throw away the spoon. Use and throw people. So this is the second one. And Vishwato Mukham means the Lord showing the Virat Rupa or the Vishwarupa, where Krishna showed millions of heads and millions of hands, legs in the battlefield of Kurukshetra right now. Out of these 3, these are the most mature people. Because they have come to the point of accepting God as a person, but a very big person, great person, but the one ultimate without a second. So they say not only God is impersonal, but God also can manifest a personal form like the Vishwarupa, which shows his magnificence, his greatness and power. So Ekatvena is here, Prataktena Bahuda, and then Vishwatamukham is the highest. And then, regarding Ekatvena, Krishna is telling, Avajananti Mamudha Manushim Tanumashritam Param Bhavam Ajananto Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. Arjuna, fools deride me when I descend in the human-like form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be. He says, Avajananti Mam Mudha. Only foolish people think that I was impersonal before. I'll give you one homework verse you can note down. 7.24. And see that. That verse says, Avyaktam Vyaktim Apannam Manyante Mam Abuddhaya. जो लोग सोचते हैं कि मैं पहले impersonal था, अभी personal बन गया, they are abudaya, unintelligent fellows, Krishna says. You will read that, 7.24. So, God is never impersonal. God is beyond impersonal. Like India, for example, Indian government is personal or impersonal? Impersonal. But behind that impersonal government, the Prime Minister, is he personal or impersonal? It's personal. You'll always see that. Government you cannot draw, but Prime Minister's picture you can draw. Correct, no? So, therefore, behind the Brahman, Krishna is the Parakpara Brahman. Shankaracharya quotes it in the Vishnu Sahasranam Sutra Bhashyam. He says, Brahman is the greatest, but Krishna is Parakpara Tattvam. So his disciples were shocked when they saw this. They said, till now you told us, God is impersonal Brahman. Now you are saying God is Parakpara Tattvam. The personality of Krishna is beyond even impersonal Brahman also. So in his Bhashya, when he writes, you will see that. Yeah. And then those who worship the demigods, you see, they go to heavenly planets, but they will have to return. This is a very famous verse. Traividya mam soma paputa papa yajnairishva sargatim prartayante te punyamasadya surendra lokam ashtanti divyan divi deva bhogan te tambhakva sargalokam vishalam क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गत आगतं काम कामा लभन्ते. One of you read the translations, please. Those who
speaking the language, worshipping me indirectly, purified of his simple reaction. They take birth of the pious and then live of Indra, where they enjoy with the or lead rights.
Yeah. That means those who do this kind of upasana of the devatas, they get punya. With that punya, they go to Swargam. But after that, what happens to them? Read that. Little, Mike, little away.
When they have thus enjoyed all sense, pleasure, in the pious activity, they return to this mortal planet.
Krishna punya martyalokam vishanti. Just like, a rocket got its fuel finished, then it falls back. Like Skylab once fell. Correct, no? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Punya is over. Back. Just like in companies, they have this LTA. They give, that leave travel allowance. Company gives 1 week leave and some money. Go with your wife and children to Shimla or some Nainital somewhere. Enjoy life for a week. Once 1 week is over, come back and again work. Similarly, people from earth go to heaven. Your punya is over. Come down, sir. Your punya is over now. Exhausted. Then you come back to earth and again you get back to work. So is it a very big advantage? Why it's not an advantage, anybody can say? Why going to heaven is not a big advantage? You have to come back. Correct, no? Whereas spiritual world, when you go, yadgatva, that is a real advantage because you never come back. You can be happy forever. So which is better? To be happy forever is better or happy for some time and come back is better? That is why. Because it gives only mental and physical pleasures, not spiritual pleasure. Yeah. Pitahamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha vidyam pavitram onkara riksama yajurevacha. So these people see Krishna, God, as a father of the universe, the father, mother, supporter and grandsire. They worship the energy of the Lord, power of the Lord. Even in my 8th standard, I went to the market, I got one big picture of Vishwarupa Darshan, probably this wall size, big size. I had stuck on the wall. Every morning, in the same room I will sleep. Morning I would get up, as soon as I get up, I would bow down to Vishwarupa. Because I used to think that if God is great, he must be like this. How many heads, how many hands, how many legs, my Lord. And Arjuna couldn't find out where it is beginning, where it is ending. It was like that. Powerful personality. So naturally you are amazed by somebody very mighty and powerful. Correct, no? Yeah. Similarly, there are many other things, he says, okay. And then, now the devotees, that's a 4th category, is a devotee who worships Krishna directly. He is not Ekatvena or Prasaktena Bahuda or Vishwatamukam. Beyond that, the highest category is devotee. Krishna himself says that. Jnana yajnena cha api anye. He has put the 3 fellows in one category. And then he says, Yajanta mam upasate, those who worship me directly, amongst those 3 fellows are in one category, my devotee is in a 4th separate special deluxe category. He's my devotee. They worship me directly. Yeah. So here you see, the devotee is worshipping the Radha Krishna deities. And in this way, and this is fit for the devotee. Mahatmanas Mahampartha Daivim Prakritim Ashita. Yeah. So worship, they don't worship Krishna alone. They worship Krishna with Radharani. Like Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan, Sita Ram. Now there are 3 types of worship. Tamasika worship, Rajasika worship, and sattvic worship. Now, in tamasic worship, people offer, like the five M's, they call it. Madira. Madira, what is it? Wine, yeah. Madira, Maithun, Matsya, Mura, and Mans. These things are all used in worship of Durga Shiva. Many places you will find they cut the chicken, mutton, all that they offer and eat. They drink wine also. Amavasya day, they do that kind of. It's a Tamasika worship. Then Rajasika worship, they do Lakshmi Puja, very elaborate, meticulous worship they do because they're starting a business and they want to double or triple the money. Correct, na? Lakshmi, please pour down gold coins. So Rajasika worship, or they worship different demigods like Devatas like Ganesh and others. And in Satvika worship, these three deities are worshipped: Lakshmi Narayan, Sitaram, Radha Krishna. It's a very pure worship. You offer bhoga plate to the Lord with tulasi manjaris, offer milk, offer vegetables, fruit, cereals, spices, pure food it is. And what to speak of wine and everything, devotees will follow four regulative principles. Devotees don't, not only devotees don't drink wine or anything, they don't even drink coffee, tea, which are containing some nicotine and caffeine. Similarly, devotees avoid gambling, absolutely no intoxication like smoking or drugs or tobacco or anything like that. And no illicit sex. So you all know the four regulative principles we follow. So out of the three worship, which appears to be the purest? Satvika worship, correct, no? So you will find by worshipping the Lord in Satvika mode in that manner, plus chanting the holy name will eventually bring us from Satvika to Shuddha Satvika platform, like this. So they approach, another thing, second thing, quality of a devotee is, they approach Krishna through the Guru Parampara of pure devotees, like you see in the picture. They worship Shakti Shaktiman together. See, those who accept only Krishna, they are called Sahajyas. Sahajyas take Krishna very cheaply. They say that we don't need a guru or anybody. Directly I have a loving relation with Krishna. Some people say like that in Vrindavan. Some people, but they will be having a illicit connection with some widows in Vrindavan and they become monkeys and dogs in next life. Prabhupada says that. Because they don't accept any guru. They say, Hamara sambandha Sita Bhagavan ke saath. Like that. Then there are others who are Mayavadis. They accept only Guru. They say Guru only is Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. He is only God. They make him God and they don't put any God. Like for example, there are some Sai Baba temples you must have seen. There is no deity of anybody else there. Only they made Sai Baba into God only. Similarly, I went to this Ramakrishna mission to see the Brahmacharya ashram. Prabhupada says you can take some inputs from how they organize their society. So we had gone. So big temple, they have a dome and everything. But if you go and see that, there is no other deity other than Ramakrishna Paramhamsa they have put. They are calling him as Thakur only. He is not Thakur, he is Thakur Das. Like we are not Krishna, we are Krishna Das. Correct, no? In Mayapur also we have a big temple made for Prabhupada Samadhi. But Prabhupada is sitting opposite TOEV, another big temple, correct, no? He is from there he is taking darshan. So worshipping Acharya is wonderful, but it should be done in conjunction with worship of Krishna also. Otherwise, making a guru into God, or if any guru claims I am God, what Prabhupada said is dog, he said. No guru will say I am God. Guru is always servant of God. So here you find a devotee of the Lord, they worship the Shakti Shaktiman together, Radha Krishna, and they also learn knowledge in Guru Parampara. Okay? Yeah. And they'll never say that I and Krishna are enough. No one more is required. They won't say that. And then Bhajanti Ananya Manaso, he says. They do exclusive devotion to Krishna. That means, like you find in India, typically people say, Monday went to Devi temple, and Tuesday went to Ganesh temple, Wednesday go to Kartika temple, Saturday to Shiva temple. We keep good relation with everybody. We don't, like some people say. In home also, if you see on the wall, sometimes there are 50, 60 pictures in the morning. They will say, everybody, don't leave. It's like, offering little water to every leaf of the tree. In this leaf also, that flower also, this branch also, a little bit. Instead of that, one picture of Radha Krishna, you water the root of the tree. Then the whole tree gets nourished. Actually, all devatas become very pleased when you worship Lord Krishna. Like when Parikshit was hearing Bhagavatam, the devata showered flowers in the sky. They were very pleased. Huh? But in India, many people do not know that we should do exclusive devotion called Ananya Bhakti. So some people even criticize ISKCON for doing Ananya Bhakti. Hey, they only worship Krishna, they say. And I used to tell them, okay, why we worship Krishna? You come and hear our lecture, you will understand. Correct, no? What is Ananya Bhakti? Actually, there are Ananya Bhaktas of Rama, Ananya Bhaktas of Krishna, Ananya Bhaktas of Narayana. All are appreciated because all three are only one person only, doing triple acting. Only one Supreme Lord. So, only the mood is different. Lakshmi Narayan worship is more reverential, and Radha Krishna relationship with in 5 rasas with the devotees, that's more intimate. So, and they never say that all gods are same. You can worship anyone. They don't say that. So, devotees have proper understanding of philosophy. And then Jnatva Bhutadim Avyayam means they acquire knowledge about Krishna. They don't do it blindly. We don't do blind faith. We acquire knowledge about the Lord. And they're ready to accept training and education about Krishna. This is very much emphasized in our ISKCON. You all have observed it? Daily morning we hear a class. Correct, no? We take training and education about knowledge of the Lord. And what the devotees do? All of you repeat this. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavvrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Translation? You can read it?
Always thanking glories.
Whose glories? Yeah. So always chanting? That's very important. They don't chant anybody's glories. Yeah.
Always thanking my glories, endeavoring with great determination, going down for these great compassion worship given devotion.
Prahlad says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. Prabhupada says, why he says the Vishnu? On sudden break he puts and says, Vishnu Smaranam. Although we know Navida Bhakti is for Vishnu only, he specifically says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Hearing and chanting about Supreme Lord. And then you do Smaranam. Not that you can do any Kirtan. Nowadays, even Ganesh Chaturthi, they put even all kinds of Hollywood, Bollywood music also. Is it Kirtana? There's no glorification of God. Whereas devotees of Krishna, we will always sing Hare Krishna when we do on Harinam Sankirtan. Have you ever seen in ISKCON they put rock music when they are going and they are dancing and all kinds of things? You have seen that, Ganesh Chaturthi time, mind-boggling. They sometimes give a cricket bat in Ganesh's hand also. You seen that? Or they put skeleton and all hanging and all kinds of things these people do, crazy. Because they have no knowledge, no education, correct, no? So the education should be given, proper education, so that they can always do Kirtan of the Supreme Lord. Chanting holy names of the Lord. Never says everything happened in mind. Like some people say, आप लोग क्यों इतना जपमाला में करने क्या जरूरत है? हमको तो 24 घंटा चलता रहता है. Some people say like that. One old lady came to a temple. She was telling, माला वाला क्या जरूरत है? हम तो 24 घंटा श्वास में लेते रहते हैं भगवान का नाम. Some or other one brahmachari convinced her to take the mala. After 3 months, the lady came and said, "Are abhi ek mala karna bhi itna mushkil hai." She said, earlier she was saying, I'm always chanting. Now even one round was challenging. Then she understood. So devotees never say, I am just chanting in the mind. So Prabhupada told one man, he said, oh, you want to chant in the mind? Then you eat in the mind only. You want to eat prasad in the plate. So devotees chant the holy name with the lips loudly. Yatantascha dridavvrata. They follow the vows of regulative principles. Yeah. So they will endeavor to render service along with following regulative principles. You all know the 4 regs we follow. And they perform namasyantasya mam bhaktya. They bow down to the deities and they worship the deity form of the Lord. And nitya yukta upasate. They always remain faithful and loyal to Krishna, even in all kinds of miserable situations. Look at Prahlad. His father tortured him so much, but he never gave up chanting, never gave up devotion service. So this is the meaning of a devotee of the Lord. And what they offer, you all know this famous verse, right? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati taham bhakti upakritam ashnami prayatatmanah Krishna is very satisfied with very simple items. He says, if one offers me with love and devotion, a leaf, like tulsi leaf, some leaf, flower, fruit, water, I will accept it. So there is one word used 2 times in this verse. Anybody knows? What is the word used 2 times? Just look at the shloka. Bhakti. Yeah, the word bhakti is coming 2 times. You should offer with bhakti, and I accept it because it is with bhakti. Like that is saying. That means, what is the content that makes these offerings very special? Loving devotion, he says. So my devotees offer with devotees think, oh, Krishna, you are so kind. You have given so many 6 type of juices you have given. Vegetables, fruits, cereals. None of it can be produced by any scientist. God has created all this and given to every species. We are so grateful to you. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tatkurushwamadarpanam. Translation?
Whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that. O son of Kunti, as an offering.
Yeah. Dhruva Maharaj did austerity in the forest. For whom? For? No, he had a material desire, but to whom he performed? Vishnu. Hiranyakashipu went to Mandarachala Parvat. For whom was he meditating? That's the difference. So Hiranyakashipu is not a devotee, where Dhruva is a devotee. You can see that. So devotee means they will do austerity only for Vishnu or Krishna. Similarly, whatever you eat, you give. Like Shabari is eating bear daily. Now Ram is coming, so she's giving, please eat this. She's giving to Rama. I mean, when Lord Ram came, she also tasted and made sure it's a sweet bear, correct, no? She gave like that. Similarly, you give away anything in charity. You give the charity to Krishna service. Somebody is giving money to build the Krishna's temple. Somebody is giving his car to the temple. So anyone, instead of just to give, there was one Jain man who sat on the top of an elephant and he opened his box full of pearls. He went to the street and loudly announced, I am going to renounce the world today and become a mendicant in Jain Matha. So he threw the diamonds in the street like this. And many people immediately picked up as much as they can. There is a big maramari fight for picking up the diamonds, because if you have one mushti of diamonds, your whole life you will be taken care. So is it a very good renunciation? No, he is just throwing it in the street because he doesn't know all the diamond belongs to whom? Supreme Lord. So even if you want to give away, you give away to Krishna, not give away in the street. Correct, no? So whatever you offer or give away, you should give it to Lord. Yeah, whatever you eat. One should not touch any food which is not offered to the Lord. One should know that if Krishna has not sanctioned it, that food, unsanctioned food is, sinful. Ye pachanti atmakarana, that verse he says. Bhungjate te pagham papa, ye pachanti atmakarana. So if you don't offer to Krishna and directly eat it without gratitude to him, the food will be sinful. So they always, whatever they eat, they will eat only what Krishna sanctions. These items. One boy asked, that means can we offer Krishna meat and take also? Egg also, is it all right? Keep an egg and then offer it and take it? No, because Krishna doesn't say that here. See, in that Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam, did he say Andam, Mamsam? He didn't say that. So we cannot offer that. That means I will only eat what Krishna has accepted. If he hasn't accepted, that means it's varjit for me also. I also cannot accept. So in this way, devotee follows this. Like a businessman, engineer, doctor, one need not give up the profession or work. Whatever you are doing, in whichever situation, you can offer the fruits to Krishna. Here is a doctor. Doctor can give some free treatment to the devotees. When you temple devotees go to doctor, they give free treatment for us. Similarly, engineer can help build Krishna's temple. A businessman can offer part of his business earnings in charity to Krishna service, isn't it? What is the difference between Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga? Karma Yoga means, Nishkama Karma means doing our karma as service to God with no benefits. Sakama Karma Yoga means doing our karma as service to God with some material benefits. So which is superior, Nishkama or Sakama? Nishkama, yeah. That means you, like for example, one fellow asked one brahmachari, I heard that you guys distribute for marathon books and all. I can make a very nice sturdy bag and give you. You all can carry books, he said. Brahmachari said, yes, very good. So he made some 4 bags with rugged cloth, very nice. And Brahmachari said, thank you very much. And then the tailor asked, but where is the money for this? He said, Acha, we have to make money. You never told that. I thought you were going to make and give freely. Paisa ho to thoda puchna padega humko. I'll check the temple and give. So then he checked with the temple and they said, oh, if he wants money, then we have to compare his price with other tailors also. Then they checked it. The price was almost similar. So then they said, in what way are you doing service to God? If we can get it done from somebody else instead of you. Then he said, no, I saw that devotees are going with book bags. That's what I can make. Okay, I can give 10% concession, he said. So he gave 10% concession and we purchased it from him. So that is like Sakama Karma Yoga, which means he wants to do some service, but he also wants profits. Correct? Not like that. Now, Nishkama Karma Yoga means, somebody has a flower garden and he takes out all the flowers and sends it to temple for the Lord's service. He doesn't want any money from that. He already has a garden. Like one fellow had a marble shop, So he gave marble for the Radhamdamachandra temple flooring. He gave all the marble he supplied. He didn't take a single penny. It was worth like 80 lakhs or something, 80, 90 lakhs. So he likes to do business of marble, but the fruits of his business, which is marbles, he wants to offer it in Lord service. This is called Karma Yoga, we call it. And Bhakti Yoga means, Krishna's pleasure is the only focus, irrespective of what karma we do. Correct, no? That means, I will not do something what I want to do and give it to Krishna. I will ask Krishna, what do you want me to do? How many of you understand the difference? Correct, no? Like you go to the manager and say, Prabhu, what service you want me to do? Then you are a Bhakti Yogi. Or you say, no, Prabhu, I would like to do this. If you want, you can take my service. But this is the only service I will do. Don't tell me to do cleaning. Don't tell me to do subjugating. And don't tell me. I will only give lectures. Because I am a smart speaker, I will go to hospital and give a lecture. Don't expect anything else. If somebody prescribes to your boss, right, this is what I will do, then it becomes what yoga? Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga. But if you say, whatever service you give me, I will do. And if you ask you, what are your talents? These are my talents. Then you allow your superior to choose and give you. So Guru tells the disciple, you do the service. Then become Bhakti Yoga. So here you see, in the Karma Yoga, one does not know who is supreme. One knows God is supreme, but one doesn't have a very clear understanding of God. So he says, Om Tat Sat. I am offering it to supreme. Karma Yogis, they do like that. Whereas in Bhakti Yoga, one clearly knows who is supreme. Krishna is supreme. Therefore, there is Bhava, there is Prema for the Lord. So how Lord reciprocates with this devotees? It's getting late now. It's close to 8:30. They have to go to college also, no? I can take 10 more minutes, 10 minutes. All right? Because we have, till now we have told what devotees do for the Lord. We also have to tell what? Lord. How many of you are eager to know that? Okay, let us see how Lord reciprocates with his devotees. Ananyas chintayanto mam teja paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham.
But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they.
Yeah. See, Krishna personally protects his devotees and provides for his devotees. You can see this. Actually, now somebody may say, does Krishna not provide for everybody? All 8.4 million species, they get food from Krishna only. That way, God is the father of everyone. Even for the atheistic people also, he is giving their food also. He doesn't say, you are not my devotee. You starve now and perish. He doesn't say that. Even if a mother, father, even if it's a boy is a naughty boy, mischievous and disobedient, still they'll give him food in any home, correct, no? Will any parent say the servant died? They won't say. So Krishna doesn't do that. At the same time, for his devotee, Krishna says, I personally make sure that my devotees are nourished and protected and preserved. How? For example, I saw once in the train one mother, she was giving out some dry rotis to different beggars. Two rotis she was giving. She had a big stack of rotis. And then after some time, at 9:30 time, I saw her taking out a big hot pot. and opened that, and hot food was there, which she was giving to her child. Her son she was serving in a plate. So for her son, she is serving very hot, nice prasad. And for the beggar, she is giving sukha roti. She is giving yesterday's roti, giving away to them. Can somebody scold her? Why don't you give the hot pot to the beggar? Give sukha roti to your son. Can they say that? No. Whose choice is that? Her choice. She's a mother. Similarly, Krishna, for devotees, he shows extra affection because they are fully surrendered to him. So you will see that Prabhupada says, Lord loves the devotees so much in Rath Yatra time. When you're dancing in the street, if legs are paining, Lord says, you can also sit in the chariot along with me and go with me. How many of you have seen devotees sitting in chariot in Rath Yatra? Correct? Devotees are also allowed to sit. That's a facility. Lord is kind, he's accommodating devotees in his own chariot. Similarly, Lord takes Rajabhog. At 12:30 it comes out. 1 o'clock then it is given to devotees. Take remnants. Devotees take first class prasad. One man came. He was telling, wow, Swamiji, what a great paradox, he was telling. I said, what is the paradox? I asked. He said, see, one of my elder son is working in America and he's married now, and his wife cooks only on Sundays. Rest of the day she keeps in the fridge, takes out, and she uses a microwave oven. Just garam karke de do. Just heat and give food. He eats basi food, taken out of the fridge and heated and given. That's what he eats every day. Only once in a week it is cooked. And he said, here I see Brahmachari, he is eating 3 times hot food. Afternoon chapati, big, puffed up chapatis. And I asked, what is the paradox you felt? He said, that fellow is making $1 million but cannot eat well. This fellow doesn't bring 1 penny also, but he eats very nicely. He asked, why this difference? I said, this is Yogakshema. Yeah. Krishna is giving him hot chapatis. This fellow has nothing else to do. Krishna is doing Krishna's work, everything. So there are many materialists who slog hard. They may make a lot of money, but they don't have a happy life. On the other hand, a devotee may not make a single penny, but if he is fully absorbed in Krishna's service, Krishna, just like the eyelids are protecting the eyes, like that the Lord is personally paying attention to devotees, every small need of the devotee. Krishna is more worried about the devotee than devotee is worried about himself. Just like mother, father, they are more concerned about children than themselves also. Like winter season is coming. Will a child have to ask mother, Mama, winter is coming, sweater denge kya? You will not have to ask. Who worries about the child? Mother. Like that the Lord worries about his devotee. So, and then he says, here this is a very famous Chanakyaniti says, Ka chinta mama jivane yadi hare vishwambaro giyate. No chedarbaka jivanaya janani stanyam katam nirmame. Ityalocha muhur yadupate lakshmi pate kevalam. Tvatpadambuja sevanena satatam kalo maya niyate. Yeah, read the translation.
Why should I be concerned for my maintenance while absorbing praising the grace of Lord Bishop? Support of God. Without the grace of Lord, how could we grow from a mother's breast or child's nourishment? Repeatedly thinking only in this way, O Lord of beings, O husband of the me, only in my time is spent in your lotus feet.
In serving your lotus feet. So, you can see many people think Chanakya only gave politics. You can see Chanakya has such a devotional verse. It's a very famous verse. I found this verse 10 years ago. In one of Chanakyaniti's book, the last part they had given this. Such an amazing verse it is. He's saying when a child is born, as soon as a child is born, the mother's breast starts giving milk to the child. How amazing it is. Mammary glands become only activated when a child is born. When a cow gives rise to a calf, then it's activated. It's Krishna's kindness. Because he knows the child is born now, he needs food. So he's arranged it. Why should I worry about my maintenance, he's saying, because you are perfectly maintaining all jivas. Very same. And then devotee of the Lord is also satisfied with one's quota, correct, no? Ishavasya midam sarvam. He doesn't encroach on others. He's satisfied. Shubha Shubha Falairevam Mokshase Karma Bandhaihi Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamu Pashyasi.
In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me.
Yeah, for example, if you worship the Lord, it is auspicious. If you kill someone, it is inauspicious. So Arjuna is now killing many warriors in the battle, but he still becomes freed from bondage. Why? How? Killing people is actually sinful, but he doesn't become afflicted by sin. Why? He is doing on the order of the Lord. Dharma Yuddha he is doing. Correct, no? Establishing Dharma. So, in this way, by becoming a Krishna's devotee, Krishna liberates us. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami, he says. And also with your mind fixed on me, you will be liberated and you will come back to me. So here he says, vimukto means you become liberated. He says, mam upaishasi, you will come back to me. He says, not only you will become liberated, you will also come back to me also. See, second line he says, mokshase karma bandhani, that's the bottommost step. Mokshase karma bandhani, then vimukto, mam upaishasi, 3 levels. Mokshase karma bandhane means although Arjuna is killing warriors, he is mokshase karma bandhane. He is liberated from karmic bondage. Then what happens to him? Vimukto, he becomes liberated from this world. Mam Pashasi, who goes back to Krishna. Like that he says, yeah. Like for example, somebody is in Eravada jail in Pune. Now, when you say mokshase karma bandhana, means his period, the term in the jail is over now. They tell him now 6 months are over now. Now release him from the jail. And vimukto, that means he can come out of the jail and then Mama Vishasi, he can go home and stay with his relatives. Correct, no? You understand the 3 levels. Like that Krishna says that all your activities are offered to me and I will liberate you and take you back to my abode. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi teteshu chapyaham. So Krishna gives very special attention to devotees. I told you the example of the mother giving heart prasad to the child, correct, no? Or a king may give charity of clothes to all the citizens, hundreds and thousands of people, simple clothes. But to his son, prince, he will give a very special dress. Will a king give simple dress or special dress to son? So Krishna also says, for my devotees, I give special attention. Here he is going to Vidura's house and Vidurani is, instead of giving him banana, what is she giving? Banana peel, and she was throwing away the bananas. And Vidura was shocked. He said, hey, my wife, what are you giving? Only to cow you should give banana peel. And to Krishna you giving banana peel. So in her devotion to Lord, she forgot what she's giving. What is that famous verse? Duryodan ke bhog na kayo, ruk sak vidur gar kayo, aise prem pujari radhe, sham sham sham, madhav madan murari radhe, sham sham sham. So that verse says that, ruk sak vidur gar kayo, see? So he is going and spending time with his devotees, like Vidura, extra time he's spending. For devotees, Krishna, when Pandavas were living in Kamya Kavan, Vishakaya Kavan, Krishna would go and stay with them, even in forest also. When they got Indraprastha palace, he would go and spend time with them in palace. So he gives special attention to his devotees. Abhijay Suduracharo, Vajate Emamananya Bhag, Sadhureva Samantavyaha, Samyak Bhavasito Hisaha. Yes. Ready?
Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
Like Ajamila committed so many abominable activities, but then after hearing the Vishnu Dutas, he became rightly situated, correct, no? So in this way, Krishna says, my devotees will eventually give up all sinful activities and become pure devotees and come back to me. And Krishna says, I forgive my devotees. That means just like, a mother sees that the child has become wounded she immediately takes the child on her lap and, nurses the wound and puts a bandage or something and makes sure that the child gets cured as soon as possible. Krishna also sees, this devotee is trying to become a devotee. He slipped and fell down. Then immediately Krishna rectifies the devotee and brings him to. He doesn't delight in ridiculing a devotee. Ha ha! Just look at this fool. He fell down. No, no mother will ridicule a child. A toddler child, when toddler child is sleeping and falling on the ground, mother will lift the child. So Krishna says, I protect my devotees. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvachantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Yeah.
He quickly becomes righteous, attains lasting peace. Son of Bhakti, declare holy, that my devotee never perishes.
See, Bharat Maharaj fell down due to attachment to a deer. For one life he became deer, correct, no? But in that life, Krishna was there with him. He gave him remembrance and said how to become a serious devotee. And then the next life became Jadabharata and went back to Godhead, correct, no? So Lord pays attention. He gave remembrance to Bharat and as a deer. And then the deer cried tears. And then he became more serious devotee. He gave him repentance. In this way, this is the protection of the Lord for his devotee. Mam gipata vyapashritya tepi syu papa yonayaha striyo vaishya sada shudras te api yanti param gatim. Yeah.
O son of Partha,
Son of Pritha. Pritha is who? Kunti. So son of Pritha, his name is Partha. Who is Partha? Arjuna, yeah.
Those who take shelter.
Either you should say, oh Partha, or oh son of Pritha. Which one you want to say?
O Partha.
That's right. That's the correct one. Yeah, yes.
O Partha. Those who take shelter.
But still, instead of oh Partha, why we say son of Pritha? Because Pritha is also very dear to Krishna and Kunti. Like in 2.14, when Krishna is telling Arjuna to tolerate, he is again saying, oh son of Pritha, son of Kunti, is saying, because your mother is so tolerant, why don't you also tolerate? So that's why he is reminding him like that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vishyas, and Shudras, can attain the supreme destination.
Correct. So, for example, he purifies the wrong tendencies. Like Stree mentality means what? Intelligence is controlled by emotions. Women are very emotional. So, because of that, their discrimination power is affected. Like a boy comes in a big car. A girl thinks, hey, he's a rich boy. If I connect with him and marry him, he will give me everything. Later on, after marriage, she knows this is a borrowed car. It is not a real car. They become emotionally attracted by the external things. And also, Vaishya mentality means intelligence controlled by economics, money is honey. They go after money like that. And they're always counting money. Shudra mentality means intelligence controlled by enjoyment. Kao piyo maja karo. Even these people can become pure devotees of Krishna. Like you see, Kunti, Draupadi, Subhadra, and they all became pure devotees. Uttara, they all became pure devotees. Vaishyas like Nanda Baba, they all became pure devotees. Even Shudra like Vidura, for example, even they became pure devotees also, isn't it? Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. Yeah.
Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
This is the essence of the essence of the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So these are instructions Krishna gives. Man mana, always remember me. How? By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So in the beginning when we chant, we may not be able to remember Krishna because the purification has to take place first. But as we get more and more purified, gradually from the name, the form will come. Then the qualities of the Lord will manifest. Then the pastimes of the Lord will manifest. It's like a blossoming flower. Right now, our heart is like a bud. When the bud opens, then you will get the fragrance and beauty, everything you will see, honey and everything will come. So one must think of Krishna by chanting his holy names. And Bhava Madbhakto, become a devotee. Just like here it's shown, Meera is shown. Similarly, all the acharyas in the line have taught us how to be a bhakta. Bhakta is always absorbed in rendering service to the Lord, isn't it? Yeah. And Madhyaji, worship me through the Pancharatrika Vidhi, like we worship the Lord in the altar. Mam Namaskuru, offer your obeisances unto me. So these are the 4 instructions Krishna gives. Summary of how to perform bhakti. These 4 things. Manmana, Madbhakto, Madhyaji, Mam Namaskuru. So, in this way, this is how you become my devotee, Krishna is telling. Yeah? This is the way. So, he has given the method also how to become a devotee, and how to become dear to him. Actually, you cannot give any excuses for not being a devotee. If somebody says, Prabhuji, I am very poor, once I become rich, I can become a devotee. No, patram pushpam phalam toy. Even a poor man can also offer a leaf or water and thing. Prabhuji, somebody may say, Prabhuji, I am a money-minded man. Kriyo vaishyastata shudras. Te api anti param gate. Immediately Krishna has an answer. No, Prabhuji, I am a very, very fallen devotee. I have so many sinful activities I have done. I am so fallen that I can't, even Krishna cannot do anything. Some people say this. Abhichet sudaracharo bhajate mam ananya bhat. Saudhareva samanta. I will make you a saintly devotee. Come here to me. Krishna says, I will take care of you. He says. Somebody says, no, Prabhuji, actually you see, once I make a good amount of money and, make my life more materially stable, because, I think I have to accumulate this, I have to arrange this. Krishna says, Yoga Kshemam, aham. I will arrange everything. You come here. Why are you running away? He says, you become a devotee. I will provide what you lack and I will preserve what you have. I will take care. You don't worry. So in this way, you find any excuse you give. Actually, I think, Prabhu, in the path of bhakti, too many obstacles. How to overcome this, I don't know. Maybe I have to do something else and then come. He says, no, Machitta, Sarvadurgani, Mat Prasadat, Tarishyasi, Ataccheto Ahankaram, Nashoshisi, Vinakshasi. He says, all the obstacles in the path of your life, I will personally clear them up. You just come to me and become my devotee. I will clear all your obstacles. There is nothing to worry. So in this way, you ask a question and Krishna says, here is the answer, take it. So there is only one excuse by which you cannot become a devotee. That's your adamant desire to run away. And nothing else. Because you cannot give any excuse. In Bhagavad Gita, he has cleared all your reasonings. Why you cannot be a devotee. That's why this path of bhakti is performed with the heart. You see, Karma Yoga is done with senses. Jnana Yoga is done with the mind by speculating. Ashtanga Yoga is done with the intelligence by focusing. Whereas Bhakti Yoga is done with the soul. In Karma Yoga, you offer your actions. In Jnana Yoga, you offer your speculation. In Ashtanga Yoga, you offer your concentration. In Bhakti, you offer your love from the heart, which is the supreme. Love is supreme. When heart goes to Krishna, then intelligence, mind, senses, everything runs along with it together. So this path is a complete path, full path. Sukham kartum avyam, joyfully performed there. Srila Prabhupada ki. Prabhupada is such a personality. He gave us how to practice bhakti in a very easy manner. All over the world, he taught this. So whatever path we are following, the Bhakti Yoga path, we should confidently know that this is the best path. So what we learned today, the glories of Bhakti Yoga, makes it very clear.